Mountain View Volleyball is live only on mylocalradio.com. Buffs Volleyball is in session for another action-packed fall season. Carrying you straight through the year and into the state tournament in November, mylocalradio.com is here to bring you live video coverage of Mountain View sports. With the opening serve quickly approaching, let's join Jake Hibbard, voice of the Buffaloes, in the MyLocal Radio broadcast booth for pregame coverage.
One weekend of action down and a whole lot more to go. Welcome into the home of the Buffs, the Cedar Top Dome in Mountain View, Wyoming, where we have today the Kemmerer Rangers taking on the homestanding Buffs. The 3-3 Buffs versus the 2-5 Kemmerer Rangers coming your way in about 20 minutes from now. Jake Hibbard joining you live on mylocalradio.com. Pre-game coverage when we return on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Welcome back to the home of the Buffs, Mountain View, Wyoming, as Jake Hibbard joining you on mylocalradio.com for another contest, the first homestand of the season for this fall 2019 year. We will have football for you tomorrow right here in Mountain View as the Buffs take on Cokeville. But right now, it's Lady Buffs volleyball as the boys are out there practicing on the field after being delayed a little bit with some lightning and rain. We can see both teams warming up right now between Mountain View and Kemmerer. A couple of teams with a little bit different of an experience heading into this season. For Kemmerer, talking to Coach Paige Becker, she's ecstatic about getting most of her players back from a year ago when she was an assistant coach to now being a first-year head coach. For the Buffs side, they replace just about everyone from a year ago. That takes away Allie Rinker and Haley Stevens, who played varsity volleyball for them last year. However, Haley Stevens, a little bit injured in Cokeville with a shoulder issue, and she is out tonight. So no Haley Stevens. That moves sophomore Olivia Meeks, who you may see going under the net right now with the bright red hair, back to the outside position as a left-handed hitter. Olivia Meeks will be playing outside once again tonight alongside Allie Rinker. That also jumps in back into the lineup at middle blocker, Kendall Herford, the junior middle blocker for Mountain View. So a little bit of line shuffling around as the 15-minute clock has just started, signaling we are about 15 to 17 minutes away from the opening serve of this contest tonight. At the Cokeville Invitational, the Mountain View Buffs on day one went 2-1 and had to feel pretty good about themselves after that 2-1 performance. They defeated Evanston in 5 sets to close out the night, and their only loss came in 5 sets to Rich County, which was a little bit of a different sort of match. 5-setter, long game. Take a look down at that box score if we can for a second. the final set goes 15-9. Rich just inexplicably came out of nowhere, turned it on, and came away with it. That being said, Rich had a close second set with Mountain View, 26-24 the final in that, but Mountain View loses that contest. They still get into the gold bracket for the following day where they play Evanston again. And this time they were only able to take one set away from the 4A intra-county rivals, the Evanston Red Devils, and drop that one in 4 sets before defeating Preston to continue their day, before defeating Campbell County to continue their day, and then ultimately losing in straight sets to Preston, a team that the day before they had beaten in 5 sets. So far, Mountain View has played 5 games. They have played the same opponent twice for 4 out of those 6 contests. I think I said 5 out of those 6 contests. They have 4 similar opponents in that, with Preston twice and Evanston twice. The other 2 opponents, Campbell County and Rich County. This Kemmerer team, they went 2-5 in their first week of play, and let's pull up what they have through their first week of the season. They went to a tournament where they got a whole lot of sets in. This was a best of 3 tournament as opposed to the Cokeville Invite, which goes the best of 5. And at that tournament, they got to see, this being Kemmerer, a little bit of their inter-region opponents. They were able to defeat Shoshone in their first contest of the year, 2-1, before falling to Hot Springs County out of Thermopolis. Lander Valley was also a loss. They lost in straight sets at Riverton. And then they lost to Wyoming Indian and defeated Wind River before finishing out with a loss to Cody. So that was how the cookie crumbled for Kemmerer. They played a lot of matches. Those 3-setters, you can get a lot more in. They got 7 in all in those 2 days. Go 2-5. Mountain View sitting at 3-3. And we are about 12 minutes away from the start of this contest. In the meantime, we've got both coaches today. We'll hear from first-year head coach Paige Becker, who's currently serving over on the right side of the net over to her Kemmerer Rangers volleyball players. We'll also hear from Diana Timms as she looks back on the Cokeville Invite that was. We will also hear from Haley Stevens on an edition of Meet Your Buffs, the first edition of the 2019 season, a little segment that we like to do to get to better know some of the players who you see out onto the court. Haley Stevens, of course, not playing today, but she will be a big part of the Buffs, one of the seniors on this program as the year progresses. So when we come back, we will take a look at Paige Becker's thoughts on this contest as we hear from her first for the Kemmerer Rangers, followed by Diana Timms, and then we'll close it out with Haley Stevens. If we have any more time, we'll get you the starting lineups as well prior to them being announced and give our thoughts on those contests. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball live and online at mylocalradio.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Moving right along in this pregame show, about 10.5 minutes left on the clock as Kemmerer still in the hitting line. Over to our far left, Mountain View is in the defensive passing lines, getting ready to take their swings at the net. Now let's hear from first-year head coach Paige Becker of the Kemmerer Rangers.
I have Paige Becker with me, head coach of the Kemmerer Rangers. First things first, you are a new head coach, so where are you coming from? How did you become the head coach of the Kemmerer Rangers?
So my name is Paige Becker. I am a Kemmerer native, and I graduated from KHS. And while going to school here, I enjoyed playing volleyball and basketball. And then I went to college, and I came back here. And I'm currently working for the school district as the special education administrative assistant. Last year and the spring of this year, I coached 2 seasons of our AAU team. And last year I had the opportunity to become the high school assistant coach. And last year we had a great season with the girls. And when the opportunity for the head coach position became available, I applied and eagerly accepted. And so far it's been great, and I've enjoyed with how well it's gone so far.
So far, you've had about a week of play under your belt. Of course, you had practice before that. But how did you feel about the first week of competition going back a few days?
I thought it went pretty well. Last weekend, we went to our first tournament in Riverton. It was a JV and a varsity tournament. The JV did really well, and the varsity also played well. Though there were a few hiccups for the varsity, I think we saw quite a bit of success throughout the weekend. The tournament being this early in the season, I think it was a good idea and a good preview of where we're at as a team and see what we need to be working on in practice. And so we were able to get a good couple wins while we were there, and particularly happy about our wins against Wind River and Shoshone because they are in our conference. So we were excited we got a chance to play them.
Sometimes you get a new coach in and they see things a little differently about who should be where or what exactly is going on. Have you switched anything up from what you were doing last year as an assistant coach to this year being a head coach, whether that's positions or your formation or anything like that?
Things have stayed generally fairly the same, I would say. As a team, a lot of those starters we had last year are also returning starters this year, and they do their jobs really well. We have Aspen and Kalia, who will be coming back as our setters. We have Olivia and Kenley, who are playing middles. Jillian and Kyla are playing outside hitters, and Kinsey Painter as our libero. And then we also had the opportunity to have Charity Chamberlain come back as a returning senior. And Austin, she moved into our district, and she's playing with us for her senior year. And so we're kind of figuring things out again, but generally these girls are playing the same positions they were last year, and we're running things pretty similar. But they have made a lot of gains and have reached some goals throughout the summer, and so as a team, I think they're finally clicking a lot better this year.
There is really a lot of work that is done in the offseason, and really when it comes to what you see at the beginning of a fall season, there's only so much room that you can improve from that point. You can get better as a team, but it seems like a lot of that growth comes during the off season. What were some of these girls doing during those summer months that you alluded to?
So in the summer, we did some open gyms. The high school girls helped host a youth camp, so they got to kind of help teach the basics, and I think that's always good, is for the girls to teach those skills to someone else, and then all of a sudden they kind of understand those skills a little better themselves. We also did a week-long camp where Chad Tyker had some coaches come down, and I think we had 25 maybe girls come do that. So they really broke everything down, worked on offense, worked on defense, and all the in-between. And then we also do AAU in the off-season, so a lot of these girls come do the traveling team. So we travel in Utah, we travel in Idaho, a little bit of Wyoming as well. So kind of just throughout the whole off season, there's quite a bit going on, and a lot of these girls are taking the time to go be a part of it, and then we're seeing big leaps and gains when actual season rolls around.
That's head coach Paige Becker for the Kemmerer Rangers. Good luck tonight and in this season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Paige Becker for joining us earlier today. The clock says 6 minutes before the start of the varsity contest. Those of us who know high school athletics know it's probably a little bit longer than that, but nonetheless, we are getting close to the balls flying for the first time in the 2019 season here at Mountain View High School. Cedar Top Dome, the location tonight, and we will be back with Diana Timms, head coach of the Mountain View Buffs, when we return on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
I have Diana Timms with me for week 2 of the volleyball season, Cokeville Invitational time. You know your pool. You're in with a couple of familiar schools in Rich County. Pardon me with that. We have the wrong interview in there. That was an interview from a little while ago. While I get that fixed, let's go ahead and hear from Haley Stevens on the first edition of Meet Your Buffs, and then we will hear from head coach of Mountain View, Diana Timms. So right now, let's hear from Haley Stevens on the first edition of the 2019 season, Meet Your Buffs. I have Haley Stevens with me, a senior for Mountain View Volleyball. What are you excited for this school year?
I'm excited for the new adjustment since we lost 5 of our seniors last year. We have a lot more younger kids coming in. We have a lot more, we don't have as much height anymore, so we have to really rely on each other this year, and I'm excited for that. And I'm also excited to be a senior and be a leader on this team, which is going to be a little challenging for me, but I think I can do it.
How has your role shifted from last year to this year?
Well, last year I was just the middle front row, but since this year, since I'm one of the big seniors and one of the leaders, I know that I have a really big, important job. So it's been on me a lot, and I've been a lot better this year. I've been a lot better. Last year I didn't really communicate with any of the freshmen, and this year I've made sure that the freshmen know I love each and every one of them and that they're part of this team.
Do you have any idea where you'd like to go to college?
I have no clue where I want to go to college yet, but I'm hoping that I can have a college look at me for college basketball. I've been looking at Casper because last year at state I enjoyed playing at their gym, but other than that, I want to go into a vet teching program, so maybe Torrington or Powell, but I don't know for sure.
I do obviously the state basketball games in Casper, but then I also do a week in Casper over the summer doing the WCF All-Star games, and I love that gym as well. What is it about that gym for you that really sticks out and makes you like it?
Well, I love our gym because it's a big dome, but since it's more enclosed, it can get louder, and you feel more even though more people can't get in there, you feel there's a lot more people. Because when I played at the event center, it was so open, and it just made me so nervous that I really didn't know what to do.
It's also always hard to see the basketball stanchion, the floating hoop, because you got so much space behind you. Yeah, I love the T-Bird gym as well. What's the favorite thing about your position being an outside?
Probably getting the most kills. I know the outside is a huge part of the team, so I like that I get that huge role, and I just love, hitting the ball, I guess, and I love having my team play for me back row and all that. So,
what's the toughest?
Probably. Right now I'm not one of the best passers on the team, so that's been tough for me, and I've been trying to work up for that spot right now. But other than that, that's the only thing that gets me.
Haley Stevens of Mountain View, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome to hear from Haley Stevens, who I can see down by Coach Diana Timms talking about her right shoulder right now. She is dressed. I was told she would not be playing outside, but we will see that story as it develops, if maybe she does get any time in maybe the back row or even hitting today. She is not serving. Now with about a minute left on the clock before the starting lineups and all that good stuff, let's hear from Coach Diana Timms, head lady for the Mountain View Buffs. I have Diana Timms with me after a long Cokeville Invitational. We had a ton of matches, 6 in all. You come out on the right side of things in the winners column, but how did you feel, more importantly, about getting this team, mostly all new look players, out on the varsity court?
I think this weekend was huge for us. I thought there was moments of, they looked brilliant. And then there was moments of inconsistencies, where you could tell that they were a young team. But overall, it was such good experience to get them on the court and start working together and see what it looks like and see what it feels like to be on the varsity, playing at the varsity level. I was just really grateful for, all the hard work and effort that they put into it, because there was so many times within our matches that we were down by a long ways, and they would fight back and, win that set. And so I felt like that was an awesome thing to overcome this weekend, and a good lesson to start learning, hey, how do we dig ourselves out of those positions? Because we know with being young and inconsistent, we're going to be in those positions quite a bit.
You went from, as you mentioned, match 2 of the Saturday, day 2, the gold bracket. You're down 20-9 in the second set to Campbell County, and you end up winning 27-25. Now, that's always a good thing when you see a young team that's just, sometimes it is an experience of saying, what do we care? We got nothing to lose. But they did show resiliency in that. I also like to see a lot of kind of old names, new players in different spots, though. I remember watching Taylor Meeks back man the middle position so many years ago, and to see her younger sister try to find her swinging arm going at the outside and middle position. How do you think she's developing one weekend in?
I think she's going to be a great player eventually. I think she, right now she's got a lot of heart, and she has a great swing to her. I love that she's left-handed. Just some great things about Olivia. She is young, and she's one of those kids that makes quite a few errors here and there, but she's really growing. And she really stepped it up this weekend when Haley Stevens went down and was hurt her shoulder for a little while, moved her, from the middle to the outside. And Olivia just really stepped it up and did a good job for us.
And Allie Rinker and Haley Stevens are two players that we did see last year in some varsity time, but now really trying to man the load as far as experience goes. How do you think they're handling just hit after hit after hit going from that left side of the net?
I think they're both doing a good job. One of the great things about Allie Rinker is that she's leading our team in serve receive, and you can't win volleyball games without serve receive. And so even though she's a great hitter, the fact that she has great ball control really benefits our team a lot. Haley Stevens, dynamic player. She can jump out of the gym, swinging hard. I just hope that she can get that arm healthy so that we don't have to make any adjustments there. But they're both phenomenal, and I'm anxious to see how they continue to grow and improve.
I thought some of the more exciting moments out of the weekend were coming in that back line of saves that were made, and actually some desperation saves that ended up being some all right passes as well. I wondered how this team was going to be able to replace Allie Bugas, and it turns out you didn't have to go too far, is it?
No, we got a couple Bugases following in her footsteps, and they do a great job. Not only them, but any of the DSs that we have on the court, they have a great defensive attitude and really work hard for any ball, and they're going to chase it down. They're not going to let a ball drop without pursuing it. So I really appreciate their hard work and effort in that aspect of our game.
Coach Diana Timms for the Mountain View Buffs, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The starters are being announced momentarily. We'll take our last break, give you the starters ourselves, and have the first serve of Mountain View versus Kemmerer, the home opener at the Cedar Top Dome in Mountain View, Wyoming of the 2019 fall season. This is a First Bank presentation of Buffs Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Quite the scene here as we welcome you back to the home of the Buffs. The football team has just gotten off practice, and along with the student section has rushed out to create a large circle to help introduce all of the Mountain View Buffaloes of this volleyball team as the starters are announced for Kemmerer. First, we'll get them out of the way. Jillian Tibbetts and Kyla Pollard are your outside hitters. Tibbetts wears number 6, a junior. Pollard, also a junior, wears number 7. Middle blocker Kenley Plowman is a junior and wears number 12. Other middle blocker is Olivia Nelson, a sophomore, wearing number 14. Now we've got a few different combinations for who could be setting, who could be hitting that I was given by Coach Becker. So let's give you what we do know. I did see Aspen Pollard leading the way out there. She's a junior setter. Also right side setter combo Kalia Gray, I believe, will be one of those 6'2 setters. She is a junior and wears number 11. The libero is Kinsey Painter, wearing number 15, the black jersey. The rest of the Kemmerer Rangers in the bright red jerseys, black numerals, and black shorts. And then for right side hitter, we could see maybe Charity Chamberlain, maybe also as a DS, maybe Austin Benson. She's number 10 and a senior. And also perhaps Audrey Cassidy as a setter or a right side, wears number 3 and a sophomore. For the Mountain View Lady Buffs, at outside hitter, Allie Rinker and Olivia Meeks, the senior-sophomore combo. Kylie Dellinger and Kendall Herford at the middle blocker position. Right side hitter, a freshman, Ashley Timms, and Camry Hutchings, a sophomore, is the setter. Libero, Casey Bugis, and Emily Bugis is a DS along with Cortland Condis, and Caitlin Timms is a serving specialist. Buffs in the dark purple jerseys, black shorts, light white buffalo head on the left sleeve. And the opening serve goes to Aspen Pollard for Kemmerer, just to the left of the net. And we are ready for the 2019 fall season to get underway. Football tomorrow, but volleyball to start off the year. And it begins with an ace by Pollard for the Kemmerer Rangers. 1-0 on the scoreboard. Pollard with a second serve for Kemmerer. Punches it over back middle. First touch up by Rinker, outside to the attack. Timms goes long and out of bounds. And early on, we have an attacking error by Timms. Pollard with a 2-0 advantage. Setting up for the third serve. Bumped by Rinker to the middle. Dellinger goes back on the set and popped out of bounds. Not the perfect set by Camry Hutchings there, and Dellinger kind of had to roll back on it, and it rolls out of bounds. Just a little bit too far. And a 3-0 score early on for the 2-5 Kemmerer Rangers. We're coming in with a lot of hope. Have just about everyone back from a year ago. To the middle. Try it again. Dellinger is blocked. Put it back up. Hutchings this time to the outside. Timms off the block of Nelson, and a kill for Ashley Timms. Olivia Meeks is out after her one rotation in the front line. She's replaced in the back row by Cortland Condis, who will take a long approach and a jump serve just over to the back right corner. First touch up, set to the outside. It's picked up there by Kemmerer to the middle. Mountain View gets a deep corner push from Casey Bugis, out of bounds. The attack there was by Jillian Tibbetts, but it was just a little bit long. 4-1 the score on the board in favor of Kemmerer. Line drive serve over by the Rangers. Touch up Hutchings outside. Rinker hit the antenna, so it's out of bounds. And an early hold dug out by Mountain View. As Kemmerer on top 5-1. Out there serving Olivia Nelson for the left side of the net. Kemmerer. Black headband with the Nike swoosh across the front. She line drives it into the net, and an error gives a point back to the Buffs. Rotation whistle blown as Kendall Herford checks in at middle blocker. Wears number 27 for Mountain View. Back to serve is Caitlin Timms, the senior. We'll hear from Caitlin Timms maybe Saturday in another edition of Meet Your Buffs. Set up Pollard for Kemmerer to the middle. And a good shot is partially blocked. Plowman with the attack. Rinker on the return fire, and a kill for Allie Rinker. Her first attack of the contest. Puts Mountain View within 2 points at 5-3 on the board. Caitlin Timms setting up for a second serve. Serves far to the right side of center. Bump set up from Plowman to the, was going right side, and then a lift called as Kinsey Painter tried to push it up and over. Called for a lift there in desperation. And the Buffs, after dropping down 3-0, are on a 4-1 run, down by a single point. Bump set from Pollard, this time to the right side. It's hit by Gray. Kalia goes cross quarter, and it is just in bounds on that back left corner, point to Kemmerer. 6-4 goes the score. Substitution in. Kylie Dellinger replaces Caitlin Timms after the serving run, and then she rushes out, quickly out, and replaced by Casey Bugis, the libero. That's how those substitutions work. Hutchings for Mountain View with the first setup to Rinker again. Off the block of a frustrated Kenley Plowman, and a second kill for Allie Rinker in the set. Ashley Timms checks out. She's replaced by Emily Bugas, a DS and twin sister of the libero Casey Bugas, younger sister of former libero for Mountain View, current libero for Casper College, Allie Bugas. 6-5 the score. Mountain View down a skinny point to the Kemmerer Rangers, who Emily Bugas serves to. High set up to the middle. Plowman pops it over the net. Picked up from Bugas. Shoot from the right to the left. A little touch play is pancaked over but ruled down. Allie Rinker with the kill. This one a touch kill for Allie Rinker. Second serve for Emily Bugas. Pushed up to the outside. It is a throw over, cross quarter, sharp corner from Kyla Pollard. And the point back to Kemmerer. 7-6 the score. Kemmerer on top. Serve from Kalia Gray, the right side setter for Kemmerer. She is a junior. An ace for Gray. 8-6 goes the score. Little roll of the volleyball under the net from Emily Bugas back to Kalia Gray. That puts Pollard up into the front line. Or excuse me, they have Austin Benson in place for Pollard, who is sitting on the bench. Bump set from Gray. Outside attack, Pollard. That being Kyla Pollard. Return fire. Rinker goes cross court. High return up. Gray back to Pollard. Cross quarter off the hands of Bugas and to the back. Up off the dome and down to the ground. Kemmerer showing well, up 3. The 2A program out about, 40 miles from here. Looking pretty good. Gray with the serve over to the Mountain View side. Long run for Hutchings. She sets up Hereford. Goes off the blocking hands of Benson. Bump set to nowhere and a point back to the Buffs. Aired there by Kemmerer. And Allie Rinker serves. If you were listening pregame, you heard Diana Tim sing the praise of Allie Rinker, not just in the front line, but as a back row passer, she leads the team in that category. Pollard bump sets it over for Kemmerer to Mountain View. Outside, Olivia Meeks, the lefty, takes a swing. It's a 0 attack. Back to Pollard for Kemmerer. Partially deflected at the net. Stays on Mountain View side. Push over. Meeks keeps it in bounds. Pushed up by Gray. Bump set to the back line, and Kenzie Painter with a libero attack. Stays legal, goes 0 though. Hereford at the middle, deflected off the block. Kalia Gray with the first touch. Bump set over by Benson, and a hammer down is handled from Mountain View. Pushed to the deep corner. What a great one-handed save from Painter. Bumped over back to Mountain View. Hutchings to Meeks. She winds up with the left hand and terminates. First kill of the set for Olivia Meeks, the sophomore. Not sure exactly what Olivia Meeks is listed at. I don't know if it's 5'9", maybe 5'10", probably in the 5'8" to 5'9" category for the sophomore. Probably some room to continue to grow, especially if you look at her family. Older sister Taylor standing somewhere in the 6'3" category, but she's a good jumper. She's got long limbs. She's got a good swing for a sophomore, as the score is 10-8 in favor of Kemmerer. And I think the future for Olivia, as well as a lot of these Buffs, is very, very bright. Swing from the aforementioned Meeks. Across court kill, and Mountain View is within 1 point. Hereford to the bench for the Buffs. Casey Bugas serves. Takes her time. Approaching from left of center. Lets over the net, and it's an ace. Never designed quite that way, but it works for a point nonetheless, and Mountain View has tied the first set. We saw last week on a Saturday, final day of August, a 20-9 deficit for Mountain View become a 27-25 victory in a set. The resiliency, as Mountain View takes a lead on a Kemmerer air, is always on display for this young group, and they force a Kemmerer timeout. We will take it with them. Back in 30 seconds on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Volleyball is a game of runs, and from a set where they trailed 5-1, Mountain View currently leads 11-10 in the first set. Home opening night and an ace out of the break for Casey Bugis. Puts it one more point up, 12-10. Loft serve over from Bugis. It's a good one. Returned over the net. A little tee off for Dellinger. Picked up on the outside, though, and a nice play there. Returned over onto Mountain View's side. That save was made by Jillian Tibbetts. Cross quarter. Meeks with a close 2-kill. Dig out of the net. Let's call it a kill. Olivia Meeks makes it 13-10. Probably just as much a passing error there, but hey, I'm feeling generous today. And it was a good attack from the sophomore to put the defense out of position. Casey Bugis, also a sophomore for this Buffs program, lines up to serve. She already has one ace in the run. Picked up by Painter. Bump outside. A Nelson with a long windup. One Bugis to another. And the second pass leads to a third, and it's over by Rinker. Great job there by the sisters in the back line. Push over. Deep corner. Kyla Pollard is out of bounds. And the point with Mountain View. We see momentum disappear so many times in a volleyball match. Last week it was Mountain View at times being on the wrong end of that momentum disappearing. But here it is Mountain View with all of the momentum, and Kemmerer giving up another ace to Bugis puts themselves down 5 points. 15-10, set number 1 here in Mountain View High School, opening day of the home season. We'll be back on Saturday with another home contest, Mountain View versus Saratoga. Return over the net, and Bugis, how about another ace? She's got 3, and it's 16-10. Line drive from Casey Bugis. Bump set. And to the back line goes Kemmerer over to Meeks. Cross-court shot out of bounds, and an attacking error by Olivia, her first, finally ends that run. Not before Mountain View comes away with a 5-point advantage, looking pretty good. They trailed this 9-6, and since then have been on a 1-point run given up defensively to their 10. 10-1. Olivia Meeks close to another attack and kill over. Touched over from Pollard. Right to Bugis. Set up Hutchings to Meeks. Bounces it off the tape. That's 4 hits. It won't count as much, as I think the up official may have seen a hand touch it at the net. Either way, 16-12. Point number 29 between these two teams upcoming. Here's the serve over. Hutchings to the middle. A good windup by Dellinger. She had the perfect approach, and the send down is a kill for Dellinger. 17-12 on the board. Mountain View up by 5. The student section on that far right side, going from the very bottom row up to the top on your vantage point on the website, mylocalradio.com. The rest of the team, the rest of the student section should probably continue to fill out, as that football team just got out of practice. They're in there showering, getting ready for their football game tomorrow. I would imagine most of them will be back out for this volleyball contest when they are done. Outside Meeks tips it over, toes the line to keep it legal. Returned over on one attack from Kemmerer. Back set this time, Ashley Timms, the freshman. She got a little bit of an awkward hit on it, but it went off the hands there of Olivia Nelson, and it's a kill for Timms. 18-12 the score. Mountain View leading Kemmerer. Long serve right to the middle. Painter with the first touch up. Kalia to the back line. Nelson with a good little shot through a couple of blockers. Set up from Bugis and a dump over from Rinker. Gray with the right set. This time Pollard backs up, gets a swing on it. A bump and a broken system play. Bugis gets it over. Does it stay in bounds? It does. 3 hits over, survive and advance. And a mistake made by Kemmerer between Jillian Tibbetts and Olivia Nelson, they were communicating. One thought they had it, the other one thought she had it. Nobody got it, and that little save over by Bugis ends up going for the point. Mountain View 19-12 the score. 7-point advantage. Bump set from Gray to the right side. Pollard with an attack. A dump save, a jump up by Rinker. And what do we have? A net touch for Mountain View. Takes away the point and gives it to Kemmerer. Shouldn't say takes away the point. Mountain View was probably in fine fashion of giving up that point as it was. Kemmerer looking to climb back down 6. A serve over from Pollard to the middle. Dellinger gets another wind up on it, but misses as she opens up her swing and goes out to the back right side and out of bounds. 19-14 the score. Kemmerer trying to climb back in. Pollard with the serve up. It's a good one. Punched just behind the 10-foot line. Hutchings shoots to the outside, and Timms goes cross court. Painter with the save. Bump set from Pollard to the back line. It's 3 and over. Gray with the touch up. Rinker reads it, sees it's going to stay inbounds, and she gets a first touch. Back line from Rinker. The attack is saved. Painter to Pollard. Outside, no middle. Nelson long and out. 20-14 Mountain View. Olivia Meeks is out as she subbed in Cortland Condis. We'll also hear from Cortland Condis in an upcoming Buffaloes match. I talked to her as well as I got all the seniors. So we'll hear from all of them before too long as Condis hits it into the net. 20-15 goes the score. Five-point separation as Olivia Nelson serves. Back right side, Condis with the first touch up. Hutchings right set. A good attack from Dellinger as they get into system with Kemmerer returning fire. Down on the block, a good kill from Jillian Tibbetts. She read the hands of Dellinger, not quite at the net, a little bit behind the net. Sent it down, and the point is Kemmerer's. Olivia Nelson with her second serve is out. 21-16. 4 points for Mountain View as Caitlin Timms is here to serve. She replaces Dellinger. Bugis will sub in for Timms following the end of her serving run. It won't be right away, though, as Caitlin Timms opens up with an ace. 22-16. Second serve is over back corner. Painter reads it in. Pollard, the setup to the middle. Good wind-up and an attack. A kill down by Kenley Plowman. You can see the jumping ability of Plowman. Not sure how tall she is, but certainly not skying above the net when she's just standing there. But when she elevates that vertical, looks pretty darn good. 22-17 the score. 3 points away from Mountain View for Kemmerer. It's an 8-point run needed. Rinker, a sharp cross, bounces off the tape. Return fire, but out of bounds. Plowman looks back and says, what happened there? 23-17 the score. Mountain View 2 away. This set number 1 action live here from Mountain View High School. Emily Bugis serves. Pops it over, back middle. Touch up right at the 10-foot line. Outside attack is out of bounds, and there was no touch. An error from Kyla Pollard. We are at set point number 1 for Mountain View. Bugis, the sophomore, floats it over the net, and it's an ace. That is how the first set ends, an ace by Emily Bugis, and it's 25-17 the final. We will be back with set 2 action in a couple of minutes. Mountain View, Kemmerer, live from Uintah County on this First Bank presentation of Buffs Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNY on 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry.
We'll post all the episodes up to mylocalradio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at mylocalradio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
What a great comeback by the Mountain View Buffs as we welcome you back to Mountain View, Wyoming. The Buffs and the Rangers of Kemmerer. 3-3 versus 2-5, and set number 1 goes Mountain View's way. The deep purple moves from the right to the left side of the net, and Cortland Condas with the opening serve. Tapped down by Allie Rinker on a little 50-50 ball over the net, and the second set opens 1-0 Buffs. Rinker with 3 kills in the opening set leads the way for Mountain View. Condas with a second serve. She serves to the right of center, a little approach and a hop step over. Pump up from Pollard. Condas with the first touch. Hutchings the set to the middle. Dellinger down off the hands there of Olivia Nelson with the kill. 2-0 and Mountain View momentum flowing as they trailed first 5-1, then 4-0, or before that, we're down 9-6, and that's when their 10-1 run really turned this contest around. Pollard with a flip over from Kemmerer onto the right side. Timms, a big cross-court shot from the right side, picked up by Painter. Bump set over from Kalia Gray, and then it's Condos on the Mountain View side. Shoot from Hutchings, outside to Rinker, down the line, and termination for the kill. 3-0 on the board. Allie Rinker. With Haley Stevens out, Rinker the only returning regular varsity player from a year ago, and certainly looking like it and looking like a leader out there on the court for Mountain View for the junior. Middle attack is into the net for Nelson. Air for Kemmerer, and Condas continues to serve. 4-0. Line drive serve, maybe an ace. No, not quite. Gray digs it out. Push over the net. First touch, Bugus, that being Casey. To the middle, Dellinger off the blocking hands. Saved out there by Pollard. Kyla Pollard with the save, and then the return attack by Tibbetts. Picked up from Mountain View. Rinker is deflected at the net. Middle attack, Nelson out of bounds. Wait for it and call. No touch called, and it's still a shutout in set number 2. Mountain View 5, Kemmerer goose egg. Condas with the line drive, let's serve over. Close to an ace. Nelson saves it from being as much. Hutchings sets up to Rinker, close to the net. She touches it over into the pancake, into the donut hole. Apparently a pancake up, returned into the net. And I would love to see a replay of that, as I did not see that ball with hand under it. 5-1 the score nonetheless. And Pollard serving. This Aspen Pollard, the junior setter. Outside attack, Rinker for Mountain View. Bounces it off the tape. Pollard with the back line push up. Outside, Gray. No to the middle. It's Nelson from Gray, and back-to-back points for Kemmerer. 5-2 score. And a long punch over from Pollard. Hutchings to the middle. Rinker winds up, is rejected. And a rejection there by Jillian Tibbetts. And Kemmerer coming back from down 5-0 to 3 points in a row. Pollard continues to serve. She has a violent attack on that serve over. The volleyball looks like it's reeling in pain, and Ashley Tim sends it into the net for Mountain View, trying to return it over. We're at 5-4. Now, if you're watching along with me, watch that right arm just attack the ball and just explode. It looks like she puts everything into it on that serve over. Back set, right side, Dellinger. Not quite yet. Back middle return from Kemmerer. Roll shot over the line, and Pollard with that one. Back line from Condis. Diving save made by Pollard. Outside to Kyla Pollard. Cross quarter. Pushed up Condis. Back-to-back digs from Cortland Condis. Outside Rinker trying to end it. Goes sharp cross, but it's picked up. Bump set to the middle, and Nelson rolls it over the line. Dump set from Hutchings. Diving save made this time by Pollard. And it's Kyla Pollard over with the attack. Deep corner push, and Allie Rinker ends it. Says good night as Painter tries to dive and make a play, but to no avail. What a rally. The best of the night so far gives Mountain View a 2-point lead. Kylie Dellinger is out. Caitlin Timms, the server, in her stead. Close to an ace. Third is over from Kinsey Painter. Timms with the first touch up. Outside Rinker down the line off the block there of Gray. And a point for Allie Rinker, her third kill of the set. 7-4 the score on the board. Timms with a second serve up. Back right corner, just inbounds. Right side, and Nelson into the net. 8-4 the score, and predictably here, Paige Becker says, let's have a little think about this one. Take a 1-minute breather. We'll be back in 30 seconds with second set action. 8-4 is the score on the scoreboard on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
8-4 the score as we welcome you back to Mountain View, Wyoming for second set action. The Kemmerer Rangers in the dark red jerseys to the right side of the net, dropping set number one and giving up an ace out of the break to Caitlin Timms for Mountain View. Her second ace of the contest. Timms and the Mountain View Buffs on the left side of the net in the dark purple jerseys, black shorts. Timms lets serve over, make it back-to-back aces. 10-4 right out of the break. So that timeout for Becker not paying off for Kemmerer. At least not early on the adjustments, or at least just trying to calm them down. Not quite. A return over the net on a broken play, but it works for a point for Kemmerer. The serving end runs for Timms, in which she saw 4 serves and 2 aces, and Casey Bugis into the back line at libero. 10-5 the score. Kinsey Painter in the black on black jersey and shorts. The libero for Kemmerer. Also has the big black Nike swoosh headband around the forehead. Rinker cross quarter. Painter pushes it up in self-defense. It's saved and over from Plowman. Hutchings to the middle. Wind up by Herford. Kill. Herford's first kill of the match. Ashley Timms gives high fives to Emily Bugis, who will move back to serve. Timms, the freshman right side, playing varsity, the only regular varsity player in Mountain View who is a varsity player. Bugis with the serve up. Outside attack from Pollard. No touch, although Pollard is desperately appealing. Neither seeing it from the down or the up official. It goes for not. We're at 12-5. That was a hefty appeal from Pollard there. He really thought there was some touch there. Emily Bugas with the second serve over. Looks like she shanked it a little bit, but it becomes a tough serve to handle. Pollard winds up, is blocked. And 4 hits as Hereford says, no, I didn't touch it. 4 hits ruled. 13-5 the score. Kemmerer's 2 victories last week came over Wind River and Shoshone. For first-year head coach Paige Becker, she was happy with that because she got a couple of teams in her region and she got the best of them. A lot of returning talent for Kemmerer this season, and a block goes errant off of the hands of Allie Rinker on the attack from Kemmerer, and it's 13-6. I believe that kill there was by Plowman. Coming in from the middle. Serve from Pollard for Kemmerer. Defense touch up Rinker. Thought she had the middle attack. Instead it's Hereford just inbounds on the back line. 14-6. Give the kill to Hereford there on a little just, hey, see what we can do. Flip it back there. Sometimes that's the perfect play depending on the situation, the defensive alignment. Olivia Meeks back in. It's been a while since we've seen her. Hello, Olivia. Setting up on the outside position. Middle attack from Kemmerer is picked up. And the attack to Meeks down the line. Pollard with the first touch up. Bump set over. That one up by Charity Chamberlain. First time we've seen Chamberlain today. Cross quarter from Meeks. Picked up by Painter onto Kemmerer's side. A little flip into the net attempted by Kyla Pollard. No good. And we're at 15-6. Painter to Pollard, backline Painter. A designed libero attack as the middle was trying to draw the block off. Meeks out of bounds, too long, no touch. Point to Kemmerer. Austin Benson into the game. She replaces Aspen Pollard. Charity Chamberlain, the senior, DS, right side combo, serving. Diving save made by Casey to the right side. Mountain View has Kendall Hereford wind up but go out of bounds. And a string of errors here for Mountain View are piling up a bit. (15-8) the score. Serve over from Chamberlain. Diving save made by Bugas. Outside Meeks. Goes off the block of Kemmerer there. Outside attack. Pollard. Touches it over. Back to Kemmerer's side. Set up Chamberlain. Out of system. Rolling it over the net is Plowman. Set from Bugas and a bump over from Meeks. Still going. 15-8 the score here. Chamberlain to the middle. Plowman long. There was a touch, so you got to chase it down. A dive made by Bugas, but not quite. 15-9. Kemmerer making a little bit of a run here and an appeal in set number 2, hoping not to go down 2-0. Chamberlain continues to serve, and she is setting in this rotation at the moment. She gets the first touch in the backline defense as Mountain View gets it over. Outside attack, Pollard, cross quarter. Saved up, Bugas down to the ground after making the save. And Meeks into the net. Olivia Meeks had 3 kills, 2 errors in the first set. Looking for her first kill of set number 2, has 2 errors though. And that's going to happen for a sophomore as Kemmerer pulls to within 5 points, but give a point back to the Buffs. 16-10 the score on a serve into the net. Sometimes that swings there, sometimes it's not quite. But a lot of talent on this Mountain View team for this year and a few years to come, I would say. Serve from Casey Bugas is an ace. She shot it back middle. Painter got the first touch up, but it was a 0 pass to nobody. Bugas' 4th ace today. Winds up, Big violent attack and out of bounds. It was initially called in by the line judge, but then reassessed and corrected from in to out. And the point goes back to Mountain View. 17-11 the score. Mountain View 8 away. Kemmerer 14. The Buffs took set number 1. Close to an ace. Rinker flips it over to Hutchings on to Kemmerer's side. Gray outside. Pollard sharp cross on a pushover. Outside attack Meeks for Mountain View. Finds over the block, skies above it, and puts it down at the 10-foot line on the opposite end of the court of where she hit it. And there is the first kill of the set for Olivia. 18-11. Again, we have more Mountain View Buffs volleyball action this Saturday. Estimated start time of that contest about 1 p.m. We'll go on air with pregame coverage about 15 minutes beforehand. Diving save, and Timms hits it into the net. So, save or not, it is not Mountain View point. It goes Kemmerer's way. And the Rangers looking to work with something here. Kyla Pollard to the back line to serve. That brings Jillian Tibbetts back in. Serve over from Pollard. And Hutchings a long way to run to get a second hit up. Rinker calls off the back row of Timms. And it's over. On to Kemmerer's side. And an outside attack attempted from Jillian into the net. And point to the Buffs. 19-12 the score. Olivia Meeks is out. Cortland Condis in. Turned over, back right side, Pollard on the first touch, and just out of bounds by a skosh of a hair. Olivia Nelson with a powerful attack, just a little bit past that line. 20-12 the score. Condis serving. Close to an ace. It is an ace. Condis, the 4th buff today with an ace. 4th ace of the set. 9th of the game. Line drive, violent attack. Painter with a good pass up, though. Outside from Benson to Tibbetts. She has to just bump it over. Hutchings fakes middle to the outside. Rinker off the hands of a couple of blockers. Painter in the back line from Gray. Back to Tibbetts. It's a zero attack. Deep line defense takes the setter Hutchings out of the play. Out of system attack from Rinker is out of bounds. And it's 21-13. Out of the game for Kemmerer, Austin Benson takes a seat. Setter Aspen Pollard to serve. Puts Kalia Gray, the setter right side combo, in the front line as a right side hitter. Hutchings shoots to the outside. Rinker beats the block, but misses and goes out of bounds a little bit long. 21-14. Hold on, a touch called. Take that away. It's point Buffs and a kill for Rinker. Caitlin Timms serving. Timms with 3 aces in the contest. Long, bad return, second a save, nothing doing there. Make it force aces for Timms. She had back-to-back aces to start off this set. Now with one, it puts it at 23-13 on the board. 1 p.m. on Saturday, Mountain View right here against Saratoga. But tomorrow we have football action on the radio as well on KNYN 99.1, and of course with the video here at My Local Radio. 3:20 pregame, Mountain View versus Cokeville. An error by Painter trying to hit it over puts us at set point number 1 for Mountain View to go up 2-0 on the count. Caitlin Timms serving for the win. Return back right side. Pollard with the first touch. Middle attack blocked. Nelson with a setup and a flip over from Tibbetts. Condis with the first touch. Close to the net. Hutchings battles it. Herford is rejected though. Nelson keeps the set going with a stuffed block down for Kemmerer. 24-14. Set point number 2. Kylie Dellinger is in and then out as fast as she goes in. Replaced by the libero Casey Bugis and in for Caitlin Timms. Back line. Condis, Rinker, and Bugis. Close to the net. A dump set by Hutchings. Camry Hutchings. Heads up play by the sophomore setter. And set number 2 is 25-14, a final. With a 2-0 lead, the Mountain View Buffs will look to close it out in straight sets when we return to live action on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, West Star is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Third set coming up. 25-14, the final for Mountain View after set number 2. Set number 1, victory from Mountain View, 25-17. Kemmerer sitting at 2-5 in 1 week through the season after playing 7 3-setters. Mountain View at 3-3 after playing 6 5-setters. Tournament action for Mountain View will be back in play next week at Rollins. Both Lyman and Mountain View will play Friday, Saturday at the Rollins Invitational. We'll be there for that contest, or those sets of contests, I should say. As for Kemmerer, after this road trip to Mountain View, a quick little jaunt over, they head on to play, well, they've got nothing on the schedule until 9/17, but I'm sure that can't be right. I wonder if they're playing perhaps in the Border Wars in Evanston. I do not have a schedule for that. That starts tomorrow. And Lyman will be playing in those contests. Just as a PSA, I know this is a Mountain View broadcast, but we do broadcast both schools. We will be with Mountain View all this week with football. There is a broadcast of the Lyman football game happening through SVI, and then in volleyball, you can catch all those games through our website, mylocalradio.com, on a stream that will be dedicated to the courts running throughout both Friday and Saturday of the Border Wars. The opening serve goes to Kemmerer, and it is into the net, so Cortland Condas takes over for Mountain View already with a 1-0 lead. Hard serve to the back right side. And an ace by Condas to begin set number 3. Second ace of the contest for Cortland. 11 aces in all for Mountain View. by my tally. In the match, outside attack, a little rollover by Tibbetts. Great way to approach from about 8 feet out the net, and just to the left to center. Tibbetts popped it over the single block coverage. Big donut hole in the middle, perfect placement there. And we are at 2-1, the first point on the board for Kemmerer. Serve over for Kemmerer's Olivia Nelson. The junior or the sophomore gets it over, and a little bump over by Rinker for Mountain View. On to Davis, to the right side, a flip. And saved on a diving play by Condas. Outside Rinker is blocked down. And with the attack going 0, Kenley Plowman took it personally and stuffed blocked Rinker for the return shot. It's 2-2. Well, gut check time here for Kemmerer. They're down 2-0, but you're never out of it in volleyball. All you have to do in this situation, win the third set, and then all of a sudden that little thing in the back of the mind for the team up starts creeping in saying, well, are they going to do it? And I've seen it so many times. 2-0, a team thinks they're dead. I've seen this happen in state semifinals. A team's down 2-0, and then one thing goes wrong and they lose it in 5 as the things just compile. Volleyball is so much a game of runs. On to Mountain View's side. Push from Hereford back to the left corner. Picked up by Pollard. Middle attack and a powerful one out of bounds by just a hair. Kenley Plowman with a good attack. Ties it up for Mountain View with that shot going just out of bounds. 4-2 the score. As I misattributed a point somewhere along the line. It's Mountain View on top and make it 5-2 with a shot out of bounds from Tibbetts. Caitlin Tim serving. Pops it over the net. Set up from Tibbetts and a pop to the middle. Plowman with the shot back line. Picked up from Condas. Rinker beats the block. Pops it off the tape. Pollard, high set really to no one. Plowman goes back behind the 10-foot line and bumps it over. And a push set from Hutchings to the middle. And Hereford with a 0 attack. Return fire. Tibbetts back middle. Condas playing that middle back defense well. And the Rinker attack is a kill into the seats. 6-2 on the board. Serve to Caitlin Timms. Into the net for an error. Serving error by Caitlin Timms. She's replaced by Casey Bugis out there in the backline defense. And a serve into the net for Kemmerer. Emily Bugis checks in for Timms. We are at 7-3 on the board. A lot of errors, not too many earned points by either side so far. I have 1 ace and 1 kill out of 7 points for Mountain View. Bump set from Pollard outside to Pollard. Kyla gets a good attack, but picked up by Emily Bugis. Outside Rinker into the net. And an error. 7-4 the score. Kemmerer within 3 points. And when you see a team in Mountain View that has been attacking pretty well this set, or this match, and they're not attacking so well early on in the set for Kemmerer, you got to start earning those points because that's when you can take over a set and then maybe get on to 4, win 4, and then you're on to 5. Roll shot over. That one by Plowman. To the outside, Rinker through 2 blockers. There was a big seam left open by the Rangers there, but they are able to weather the storm. And then a sharp cross cut in by Pollard. Diving play made by Rinker, but she just knocks it into the donut hole for Kemmerer. And we are at a 2-point differential, 7-5 on the board. 2-point lead for Mountain View. Probably close to a timeout time here for Timms. And we'll see how long she lets that ride. Serving errors continue for Kemmerer. This time by Kalia Gray. She barely hits the bottom of the net. Puts the score at 8-5. Serve from Rinker. And an ace for Allie. Try it again for Allie Rinker. Her first ace today, 9-5 the score. And back-to-back aces. Rinker is serving it with some sort of spin that is flying off of the defender's hands, and instead it's 2 straight points for Mountain View, and it's a Kemmerer timeout taken. We will take it with them. Allie Rinker serving with back-to-back aces to her name. Next on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Allie Rinker with back-to-back service aces to her name has Mountain View up 10-5 on the board. And I said 2 straight points out of the break. It's 3 straight points as they were leading 7-5 when I thought the momentum was shifting Kemmerer's way. And maybe it would be a good time for Coach Timms to take a timeout. 3 straight points, and it's Kemmerer and Coach Becker taking the timeout. Rinker serving with back-to-back aces. This one is not. Outside attack and a roll shot over by Kyla Pollard. Pushed up from Rinker. Set from Hutchings to Meeks. She gets a good wind on it. Deep cross-court shot, and it's Kemmerer on the attack. Pollard pitched up again by Rinker. Meeks tries it. Pretty much even with the block. Painter with the first touch up. Outside Pollard with her 3rd straight attack. Diving save made by Rinker. Tried again to Meeks. Again, her 3rd as well. It's out of bounds. And an error for Olivia Meeks. 10-6. Point for Kemmerer straight out of the break. Good long rally, though. Here in Mountain View, opening night of the fall 2019-20 season of the home campaigns. Stuff block for Olivia Meeks. She got blocked down by Benson. Push back over on 3 hits onto Kemmerer's side. To the middle. Nelson is blocked by Meeks and Hereford. 11-6 Mountain View. Coach Becker animated down on the sidelines. I'm not sure exactly what she was doing or what she was pantomiming. Maybe the body language there. She gets both her shoulders up high. She's up on her tippy toes. Very animated coach. First year out of Kemmerer. She's a graduate of Kemmerer, now back with the program as the head coach. Return over the net and out of bounds is another point for the Buffs. 12-6 the score, and Casey Bugis with the serve. And who else would you want to be serving today for Mountain View? 4 aces in 2 sets for Bugis. Her first attempt, close to one, but Painter makes a good diving save. Outside attack, Nelson with a shot down. Emily Bugis threw up that right fist and nearly kept it in play, but it does go out towards the stand, and it's a Kemmerer point. 12-6 becomes 12-7. Serve for Kyla Pollard. Jillian Tibbetts up into the front line and outside for Kemmerer. Big seam left open on the right side, though, and Kylie Dellinger takes advantage of it. Kill for Mountain View. And when you look up, Mountain View's already pretty good along the way of getting to that set 3 win. 13-7 the score. They've made quick work after going down 5-1 of Kemmerer the rest of the way, coming back to win that first set by 8. Winning the second set by 11, currently up by 6 in set number 3. Right side push up. Benson cannot get a hold of it. And add another point, and another point advantage as it balloons to 7. Again, we are on live on mylocalradio.com with week 1 of the 2A football season. Well, 2A, 1A. Cokeville and Mountain View, 3:20 p.m. pregame show right here in Mountain View on mylocalradio.com. If you're in the listening area on 99.1 FM as well, that game kicks off at 4 p.m. 15-7. Camry Hutchings with the serve. It's a good one. Close to an ace. Make it an ace. Net touch. Won't go officially in the books as an ace, but not a good pass there. And that was a result of a great serve by Hutchings. Punch over from Camry again. Bump set. And Gray goes to Painter in the back line. The libero attack, it's in. Meeks returns, is blocked, that time by Nelson. Shot to the right corner, picked up by Kemmerer. Outside attack, Tibbetts down the line, and ruled out of bounds. Oh, close one. Casey Bugis knows she got away with one there. Sure looked like it was on the line. No appeal. 17-7, the Buffs with the point. That sure looked like it was in. But the Buffs get the point regardless, and Hutchings continues to serve, and she aces it. A late pull-off by the back right defense of, is that Pollard there? And it gives Hutchings an ace. Serve over, back right side again, this time picked up from Pollard in a similar position. Call off, Painter bumps it over. Rinker onto Mountain View side, back set to the middle blocker. Dellinger hits it off the hands of Olivia Nelson. And another kill for Dellinger. For Kylie, let's see, that is 3 kills on the day. Make it 4 kills for Kylie Dellinger. 19-7, the Buffs closing this contest out. Gray bump sets over the net. Good pass from Rinker to Hutchings. Meeks off the block. It's blocked back onto Mountain View side, but it stays inbound. Maybe a makeup call, but a point back to Kemmerer. Little bit of suspense as the up official looked down, didn't have a good call on it. I think she was leaning on out. Looked straight down to the line judge on that Kemmerer side, and she said in. So 19-8 the score. Dellinger at the middle on the assist from Hutchings, and her 3rd kill of the set. Goes 20-8 the score. Cortland Condis will serve. She replaces Olivia Meeks. A 12-point lead, and Condis serves it over for an ace. Condis with her 3rd ace today. Mountain View approaching 15 aces in the match. That's almost a whole set's worth. 21-8 the score. Line drive. Ooh, may have gone out. Pollard opted to return it. Painter bump sets over. It's a good one, but Casey gets a perfect pass outside. Rinker with the shot down. Painter returns it over the net. Dellinger sets to Hutchings. Back set to Timms. The freshman is rejected, but a great down save by Hutchings. It is in on a little flip play on the sharp cross down. Just in, and Mountain View point. Let's see, was that Dellinger? I'm going to say that was Dellinger on the attack there. On the broken play. Middle, down the line. Nelson is picked up by Condos, and she's down. She hit something. I'm not sure if she dislocated a finger there or smacked one. Okay, she's staying on. She's okay, but holding that left hand. She looked down to the bench immediately upon returning that ball. It's a point to Kemmerer, by the way, 22-9. And Condos stays in. She's still tender with that left hand. Caitlin Timms will come in. She replaces Dellinger. And Herford in at the middle. Timms the server. Set up, punch, serve over from Timms. We're at 23-9. Outside attack. Tibbetts off the block. Is deflected in the back line. Condos with the first touch. Dump set by Hutchings. Picked up by Pollard. Bump set from, let's see, that was Chamberlain over there. And onto Mountain View side. Rinker down the line for the kill. Puts us at match point number 1. 3rd kill of the set for Rinker and 10th of the contest. 24-9 the score. Mountain View can finish with authority, keeping Kemmerer out of double digits in set number 3. Timms with the serve over. The first attack is a middle one pushed over by Plowman. Onto Mountain View side. Hutchings to Rinker, and the contest is over. Allie Rinker ends it with her 4th kill of the set. 25-9 as Mountain View denies Kemmerer double digits in set number 3. It's a straight set victory for Mountain View on their opening night of the home season in 2019. And we will be back with post-game coverage next on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com. Do you like following your Mountain View and Lyman athletics when you can't make it to the game? Well, we love bringing it to you. Hi, I'm Jake Hibbard, voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes and Lyman Eagles, and I've been traveling around the state of Wyoming and covering high school sports for the better part of a decade. Whether it's covering a big culminating event at the Casper Event Center, calling a tightly contested Mountain View-Lyman game, the greatest rivalry in this state, or kicking back and enjoying the views at one of this state's many hidden gems like the ballpark in Cowley, Wyoming, there's a few things I always see. There's officials trying their hardest, coaches sweating it out on the sidelines, and there's always a ton of support for these athletes from the entire community. MyLocalRadio.com would like to take a moment to thank all of its sponsors for making today's video coverage possible. Without all of us working together, none of this could happen. If you would like to support our future video broadcasts of Lyman and Mountain View sports, there's a few ways you can let us know. The first is, you can call our home office in Evanston, Wyoming at 307-789-8116 and let them know that you would like to know more about how you can become a sponsor of Bridger Valley Sports. The other is, you can just come up to me before or after a game and ask for more information. We've got a lot of different tiers of sponsorship and we'll find the perfect one for you. We would love for you to join the MyLocalRadio.com and Bridger Valley Sports family and help us continue to bring these games for years to come. That number again to call for the Evanston office is 307-789-8116. Or just come up and see me at one of the games and let me help you help us. And remember, go Eagles and go Buffs.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Joined now post-game by Allie Rinker of getting that first win in your home opener. How did it feel to be back in front of the crowd, Allie?
It was amazing. It's so fun to be here.
So that was a tough contest early on. You jumped down, what was it, 5-1, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the momentum started to come back. At what point did your team start to feel comfortable out there?
Once we get the ball back and we're serving, we're comfortable. And once we start having fun and bring up our energy, we have a lot more fun and we're more comfortable, and then we start playing better.
Are you able to take a little bit of a different approach in a situation where tonight you're playing in front of the home crowd, you're only playing one match as opposed to last week at Cokeville where it was match after match?
Yes, you can throw a lot more into it because you know that like this is your only game for the day. You're not going to be tired for the next one, so you put everything you can into it.
This is unofficial. I had you with 11 kills and 2 airs. How did you feel about the whole team all around today, attacking and setting up? Do you guys feel like you're getting into a sync again?
Yes, I definitely think. We have a really young team, so we're not used to playing together, so we're just kind of finding our groove.
Let's see. I had you with close to 15 aces as well. What about the serving game today?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. When you have a good team that's cheering you on, it's easy to have fun and play good.
Well, you got this game today. You have Saratoga tomorrow. You have the football game on Friday. What do you think about the Buffs as they take the field against Cokeville tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a really good year. We have a strong team in every sport, and I think we're going to do really good.
I'm sure you're going to be out there cheering, but do you have to work around volleyball practice at all, or how's that going to work?
We have morning practice tomorrow, so we can go support the boys.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Allie, congratulations today. Thanks for joining us post-game, and good luck. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
That's Allie Rinker post-game, and we'll take another break and run through some stats and rerun that contest after this. This is a First Bank presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Welcome back post-game here at Mountain View High School. The opening day of the 2019 fall home season goes for a win in straight sets. The Mountain View Buffs defeat the Kemmerer Rangers in 3 sets. The first set was a little bit of a lull for coming out of the gates. Kemmerer was looking good, and then it all turned around on a 10-1 run at the middle points for Mountain View, eventually winning 25-17, the final in that first set. The second set, not even close, 25-14, and you want to talk about not even close. The third set, 25-9. The Buffs came out and dominated. For Kemmerer, they have a lot of returning talent. They've got a first-year coach who's excited, a product of the system, and I think as that season goes on, they will continue to see improvement. But tonight, it was all Buffs. Some stats for you. Running it through, Allie Rinker leads the way for Mountain View in the attacking department with 11 kills. She's followed up by Kylie Dellinger with 6 kills, 4 from Olivia Meeks, 2 from Kendall Herford, Ashley Timms with 2, and Camry Hutchings with 1 on a dump set to end the second set. On the ace department, I thought it was about 15. It ended up, by my count, being 15. Might have missed a couple as well. Led by Casey Bugas and Caitlin Timms with 4 apiece. 3 from Cortland Condis, and 1 from Camry Hutchings, 2 from Allie Rinker, and 1 from Emily Bugas. Those are your stats, and we'll take one final break and get you set as we look ahead to the week to come in Mountain View Buff Sport, and also our next broadcast for the weekend, which there's a big one. Spoiler alert, we got football coming up tomorrow. The start of the 2019 fall football season. We'll talk about that when we return and close out with this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com. With mylocalradio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by mylocalradio.com. Stay connected.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Welcome back one last time from Mountain View High School for the night. We will be right back here tomorrow, though. So let's send you through the look ahead for Mountain View sports, and it all starts with a 4 o'clock kickoff tomorrow right here on mylocalradio.com against Cokeville. The Mountain View Buffs open up week 1 right here at Buffs Field. We will go on air with pregame coverage at 3:20 p.m. on KNYN 99.1 FM and online with the video stream right here where you're watching right now. There's also cross country coming up at Rollins or Weber depending on which team it is. That's for Friday, September 6th. And then for the 7th, Mountain View has a volleyball game right here where we will be at 1 p.m. with about a 15-minute pregame show. Mountain View Buffs volleyball versus Saratoga to try and go 2-0 to start the home campaign. Now let's look ahead to a couple broadcasts in our future. We mentioned those, and then a week down the line we'll switch over and have some Lyman coverage where we will be covering on the 13th Kemmerer at Lyman at 1 p.m. And then on the volleyball side, we will be with both these teams at the Rollins Invitational. That's down a week from now. But tomorrow, 3:20 p.m., don't forget to tune in to mylocalradio.com for the Mountain View Buffs football against the Cokeville Panthers. Until then, I'm Jake Hibbard. Thank you for listening tonight. And until next time, go Buffs.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this mylocalradio.com exclusive of Mountain View Buffaloes Athletics. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Mountain View broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Buffs!